Okay, there we go. Why the freak is it, whenever we start up streams, it seems OBS Streamlabs cannot handle it correctly, and it always just don't handle it correctly. But hello there, everyone. Welcome back. And how are you doing today? So, the Poltchageist. New info. I was wrong. I mean, Pokemon Leagues have not been the most regulated, but it's like, okay, Poltchageist thing. Interesting. Interesting. I think it looks pretty cool. My only worry is its ability. It looks kind of insane. Like, on switching, it heals your ally. I'm worried how much health it's going to be healing, because if it's like, it has a little bit of health, but we also know Pokemon stuff generally is not the most accurate descriptive. So they could say, but, oh, a small amount. A small amount is like, 30%, which, yeah, it could be kind of insane. I'm worried it's going to be half health, but I'm hoping it's more like maybe quarter, maybe third. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. And now let's get back to hunting for Impidimp. The Grass Ghost looks interesting. Yeah, it's a convergent evolution of Poltchageist. It isn't, because they specifically said it's not related to like Sinistea and Poltchageist. So it's, again, it's like Wiglet and Wugtrio, Toedscruel, where it's a regional fake, I guess, is like the other term people have been saying for it. But yeah, it's a convergent evolution is the like official term. It's not a regional variant of Poltchageist. I almost wonder if they're no longer going to be doing the regional variant sort of thing. Thank you very much. Let's gonna have a good day. I wonder if, like, the regional variant thing is kind of gonna be done, because I think the only regional variant we had with this is, like, Paldean Tauros, well, the 3 Paldean Tauros, which makes sense, because, Spangled, and Wooper Clodsire. And even then, it's only Paldean Wooper Clodsire is its own separate thing. I think that's what it is. But yeah, I think that the others are going to be, like, regional conversion going to be going forward. But how are you doing? So short term and animal looks the same, acts the same, but not the same animal. Not exactly. It's convergent evolution is more of 2 separate independent things evolve the same traits. So think of like dolphins, dolphins and sharks. Dolphins and sharks are not related at all, but they have evolved the same traits of, fins and, similar, like, physique shape, but they're not related to one another. So it's things evolving similar traits despite not being related, because it's just what works. So that's really what it is. It's also really not that surprising that we're getting more Generation 8 new stuff related to Generation 8 Pokemon, because one of the designers for the Pokemon in Gen 8 said that 3 of every 10 Pokemon they designed made it into the game. Now, that could mean that could mean 3 of every 10, with the 10 including every, like, basic sketch that didn't go anywhere. So, like, just a crude outline of something. Not, a fully fleshed out Pokemon, which realistically is probably what it is. Because if you look back even through all the previous generations, that's actually been something Pokemon's done since the beginning. Everything, I believe, other than Lugia in Gen 2, was actually designed back in Gen 1. Shellos and Gastrodon were actually designed back in Gen 3, but they didn't finish the design of it. And they still, like, okay, we still need to work on, they still need to give it some time to work on, and then, finished it in Generation 4. So this is actually not too surprising. It's pretty much what they've been doing for a long time. The same thing actually almost happened to Hydreigon, where Hydreigon was kind of shoved in a drawer and pushed away because they didn't really finish the design for it. And had they not finished it for Generation 5, they probably would have just put it in Generation 6. Which, it would have been really interesting to see how Generation 5 would have gone if Hydreigon didn't exist. Hello there, Dark Sage. How are you doing? One of the mods go grab Dark Sage's link, please. Hello there, Mudkip. Got 22 days left for anyone who knows, along with DLC. Yep, that is a little over 3 weeks. Actually, 3 weeks in 1 day. It's gonna be interesting to see whether we have the DLC. But yeah, it's a fairly standard thing that they do where something that just doesn't get finished in time, they'll just move into the next gen. Because I said, our Chaladon does not look like something that would make sense within the Paldean Pokemon design scheme. It looks more like it would be something from Galar. And yeah, considering what we just found out about, yeah, it's something that was designed back in Sword and Shield, I was right about. It was designed back in Sword and Shield, it just wasn't implemented. Probably because they didn't maybe finish the design. They were still working on it a little bit. Which makes sense why they gave it a G-Max form. They're probably like, okay, we'll give Duraludon an evolution. Well, we can't really finish the evolution, so you know what, we'll give it something else this gen. We'll give it a G-Max form. Which makes sense, honestly. And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. You're right, Mudkip, you're not addicted to Stardew Valley. Not at all. Thank you, Omar. Thank you very much, Omar. Let's go get some shiny hunting. So yeah, we're a little earlier than normal with our shiny hunting today. I am almost debating if I'm going to be making 2:30 p.m. EST my new stream time generally, because I kind of want to do stuff earlier in the day, because otherwise I'm like completely wiped out at night, and we generally can't stream that long at night. So if I stream earlier in the day, we can stream for longer, which means we can get more shiny hunting, which means ADD Brain Meta can handle a lot of the recording, because I've generally noticed I do my best recording when it's nighttime, so I think that's what we're going to be doing. We're experimenting, because I've noticed I've like flip-flopped like every couple of weeks. I was like, oh, I'm going to go stream during the day. Oh, I'm going to go stream during the night. It's like, no, I'm going to try and stick to one schedule going forward for a while. Get this one out right. Yeah. Like, I mean, it isn't even just that. You've got in Black and White 2, Iris has a Hydreigon. So it would have been very interesting. What would the pseudo-legendary for Generation 5 have been had they not finished Hydreigon? You know, that's really... like, because I do have my headcanon think line that it was actually the pseudo-legendary was going to have been Haxorus had they not gone back and finished Hydreigon, and not Volcarona, because Volcarona was originally going to have been a legendary Pokemon. They demoted it from being a legendary Pokemon, so it would not have been Hydreigon. Now, what do you think the ability of the new... What do you think the new... What about the ability of the new Pokemon? Oh, I think its ability is kind of... I think its ability is going to be kind of broken, but also we don't know how much health it's healing right now. It could be really, really overpowered, but it also could heal a very small amount of health. It does say it heals a little bit of HP, so it depends on how much health it's really healing, like, per usage for it. A bit of legendary. They probably wouldn't have been that much different, because Volcarona's stats right now are, I think, 560? I want to check that. What is Volcarona's BST? I think it's maybe I think it's like 560, because I know that Slitherwing and Iron Moth are 570, and Volcarona has the smallest difference in stats from its base form to the Paradoxes. Oh, okay, so 550. It wasn't that far. But really that would just be... If it was a legendary, it would have been like a base 600 legendary. Or even then, a lot of legendaries don't even have base 600 total. Most legendaries are actually like base 580, base 570. So, realistically, all Volcarona probably would have had is maybe an extra like 10, 15 points in physical attack and physical defense. It probably wouldn't have been that much different from the Volcarona we've got right now. Maybe like 5 points more in speed or something like that. It wouldn't have been too big of a difference. It wouldn't have been something like a box art restricted legendary. Because you look at legendaries like Landorus, Tornadus, Thundurus, Suicune, Entei, Raikou, they're base 570s, they're base 580s. You didn't miss too much, Nook Guy. Where did the other 50 go? It wouldn't even have been another 50. It would have been like another 20 or 30 at that. So it really wouldn't have been that much different from the Volcarona we've got at present. Urshifu also has 5. Really? Urshifu is 555? 555? 550? What? Urshifu's 550? Interesting. I guess maybe they deliberately kneecapped Urshifu because they knew its ability was going to be kind of insane. 550? Urshifu's 550? Why? Yeah, it probably would have been like physical attack, physical defense is what Volcarona would have had stats added to. Stats. Urshifu. Punchy monkey. What do you mean? Yeah, 550, yeah. So it might have even been the exact same as Volcarona as what we know it is now. Yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing when you really look at a lot of the older Pokemon, is just how a lot of them have evolved and changed. So meta, should I pull Day and Champion? Yes! Yeah, Gita's team is very bad. A part of me wants to do a video on fixing, like, we're done! We're done! Impidimp agrees with Gita's team sucking! Let's go, people! Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, guys. Let's freaking go, little blue demon thingy. Alright, Impidimp is done. Impidimp is done. Oh, we actually were talking about that, HH. It's not really. A lot of Pokemon that are in the DLC were actually designed back in Sword and Shield and just unused because the designs really weren't finished. This actually happens every single generation of Pokemon where designs that aren't finished just kind of get pushed on into the next generation. The entirety of Generation 2, actually, this is the case of it, aside from, like, Lugia, where everything in Gen 2, other than Lugia, was designed back in Gen 1, but they had to cut it for space. This is why a lot of artifacts of them still exist back in the original game, but, like, they're not actually functional. And even more Pokemon than that actually existed. Like, there were pre-evolutions for Tangela that existed, and a bunch of other Pokemon. It was actually fairly common. Like, Shellos and Galvatron were the same way. They were actually designed back for Gen 3. Alright, let's see if you are marked. Yes! Yes! Impidimp is marked! Finally, the last one is the marked one! The sleepy Impidimp! Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy. I am glad I did not build my Impidimp for the Elite Battle League right now, because that is marked Impidimp. Dimp. Mark. Alright. So, still got Fairy Sandwich running. Still running a Fairy Sandwich right now. What do we got? What do we got? It's going very well, Josh. It's going very well. Let me go check how many fairies there actually are in the game. Scarlet, Violet, Fairy, Pokemon. Because there's still some fairies I think I still need to get, but I don't actually know how many I need. Scarlet, Violet, list of fairy-type Pokemon. Okay, Arakios. No, Arakios is not that. Why the freak is this thing, like, using that? Okay. Skelevet, best fairy type. Type listings fairy. Okay. We got the Igglybuff family, we got the Ralts family, we got the Muriel family, we got the Flabebe family, we don't have Sylveon, but Sylveon is a bit of an annoying one to hunt. Dedenne! We can... No, we have Dedenne. We're gonna hunt Mimikyu a different way. Dash button already got. We're done. I'm gonna be hunting, well, Hatterene, but I don't think you can find Hatterene in the wild. Yeah, you can't find Hatterene wild. So, and Mimikyu, I have planned for a different hunt. Klefki, we already got Klefki. Azrael family. Yeah, we're done with Fairy. Fairy is done. Alright, that is... Oh, I do too. I'm a big fan of them. I love them. Hello, Noodle Kai. Hello there. Oh, that's such an Impidimp. Yeah, I'm very happy the Impidimp is marked, because I specifically did not go and prepare my Impidimp for the Elite Battle League, because I wanted to try and get a shiny marked one. And now I do. I have Impidimp to Sleepy. So, sandwich is done. I don't even... Can you find wild Sylveon that are not the Terra static spawn? You can. Okay. Okay. There seems to be wild Sylveon, but it's, like, rare, potentially? Okay. So... Oh! Well, okay, that's... we can also go around there. Okay. Alpharnata. Yeah, it's not just... I mean, Alpharnata is probably the better area to hunt for it. But there is one little blip right around, like, here. So we'll try going for that. But if we don't really see any, we will go for Alpharnata. Alright, let's see if we can get Sylveon. Because Sylveon is the one that I kind of dread hunting the most. I don't Metroid dread it. I just dread it. The dreaditing has begun. Fast as the wind, the dreaditing has begun. Alright. Controller, stop freaking out on me. Controller, you're freaking out on me right now, Controller. Yeah, apparently Cerebi says that there are Sylveon spawns around here, but I'm not sure I believe that. Yeah, there's Murkrow. Deerling. Dear friend Deerling. Yeah, I don't think that it actually does appear around here. Dolazapa Pass, Glacial Mountain. Checking the Deerling are not shiny. West Province Area 3. South Province Area 6. West Province Area 3. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really think it actually does appear around here. Or if it does, that is a Zorua. Or that's a Zorua. Yeah, we're gonna go Alpharnata. We're gonna go around Alpharnata. Now, the issue with Alpharnata is that there is a lot of fairy types that appear around here. Klefki is the big one, but yeah, there's Klefki, Sylveon, Floette, Flabébé, but Floette and Flabébé are very localized, so we're really just dodging we're just dodging Klefki right now, which isn't horrible, but we just got to avoid them. Freaking heck, Controller, why are you spazzing out on me? This controller is like... The thing is, this is you're supposed to be the good controller. You're supposed to be the one that actually works. That's Cerebi does. I mean, I don't think Cerebi's wrong. I just don't think the map is always correct. Oh, right, Dashbun's also here. There's no way Sylveon's a daytime exclusive. There is no way it is a daytime exclusive spawn. New Paldean Treasure. Paradox, in-game, obtainable. Let's see, where is the thing about daytime? Pay to Victory Road, Titans, useful items, useful things, can return story arcs, features, swim mechanics, catch mechanics, Union Circle, breeding mechanics, day-night cycle. I don't think it's a day-night linked Pokemon. Yeah, because it's not a day-night linked Pokemon. I think it's more so that Sylveon has a very low spawn rate than anything. I think it is more just Sylveon has a very low spawn rate. Yeah, Sylveon's just a rare spawn, more than anything. Alright. Because, like, look at all the Klefki we're finding, and the Klefki and Dashbun, compared to all of the Sylveon, all of these non-existent shiny Sylveon that we are finding. Meanwhile, all of the Klefki. All the Klefki in the world. Your camera trying. Yeah, again, the reason why the camera's doing that is because the controller is, again, a little bonked. But controller is... We have the better controller. I have the gyro controller. That's the good controller. However, I'm not using that controller unless it is essential. The main issue is using that controller can overtax it, and then result in that controller also having mechanical difficulties like this one. So that controller is exclusively going to be used when it is an absolutely essential thing like precision mechanics. Yeah, Klefki. I really don't want to get another shiny Klefki. Klefki is... Wait! I think I saw a shiny, electric type thing. Unless I was mistaken. I think I saw a shiny over here. Okay, no I didn't. I just thought it was a shiny climbing. Nope. Okay. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm not a fan of Klefki. I'm a steel type purist, and Klefki is a Pokemon I despise. I do not enjoy swag play shenanigans. So I have a very big disdain for them. But now we're going for Sylveon. Actually, I should probably change the thumbnail for this, because we got that. Shiny Sylveon PNG transparent. There we go. There we go. There we go. Shiny Sylveon PNG. Favorite video game? That is a good question. I don't actually know. Hello there, Cat Dragon. How are you doing? Hope you are doing delightful. There we go. So now let's put Sylveon's shiny there. Let's put shiny Sylveon front and center. And there we go. Just have to switch around my little thumbnail. So that way, we get Sylveon on there now, because we're shiny hunting Sylveon. Because we got Impidimp. I'm honestly surprised we got Impidimp as fast as we did. I'm happy, but I'm still surprised. There we go. Control-Shift-S. Control-Shift-S. Save the creative file. There we go. You're seeing the real-time Metamaxis PNG thumbnail save creation tactics. You're seeing me kind of working on the number crunching of right now. Let's go back. Go back to YouTube. Go back to YouTube. Jeez, how many pages did I go to? I went to a lot of pages. There we go. Change thumbnail. Sylveon shiny. Hunt. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we still got a while left. So that the reason why I open up the big menu for the thing is that actually stops the counter from ticking down of the sandwich. But yeah, we are now looking for Sylveon, and well, shiny Sylveon. Which is going to take a while, because shiny Sylveon doesn't... I can't even go to the other side of the Alfornata, because there's just so many... Well, then again, we could go over there. But there's a Klefki outbreak, so that's a problem. You know what? We'll go there. We'll go over there. We're risking it for the biscuit. Not the bagel, but the biscuit. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I'm not... Look... Well, then again, I could just go and wipe out the outbreak of Klefki to completely reduce the probability of finding them. So we'll just, you know what, we'll have Volcarona purge the area of the key jingler of pain. Volcarona, your burning services are required to exterminate the keys. Exterminate. You could say we're smelting them. We're gonna melt them down into a paperweight. Because if we can clear them out here, then we can get another area we can actually get Sylveon encounters in. Because if I recall, this is a better area to shiny on for Sylveon. But I do wish there was a way you could. No, I don't date skip. But the other thing is, you can't force. There's no real way of even when date skipping getting an outbreak you want. We could theoretically beat yourself for hours anyway, and I don't do that. I don't date skip. Poltergeist is I would recommend checking out the reaction. But I think Poltergeist is interesting. It's again, I generally withhold statements on the newer Pokemon until we get the full info on them. But I will say I think it's interesting. Hello there, Danger Beluga. That is, again, still a top-tier, glorious name. As Volcarona destroys all of these questions. Destroy all of them. Destroy the Clefty. Honestly, we're never gonna get here. I'm not surprised we're getting the DLC. Yeah, I know, we're getting rid... See, we could do date skipping to get rid of the outbreak. However, I vastly prefer to purge the area of Klefki, because I don't like Klefki. I would rather see Klefki go down in flames. I mean, plus the other thing is, theoretically, we could get another shiny Klefki in the meantime, so that just goes into the giveaway bin, which means another shiny giveaways. It will be one sparkle closer, so there's that. Destroy the Klefki. The thing is, I'm a steel type. I'm a big steel type guy, and Klefki, as a Pokemon, is a fairy steel type that is just all like tech and disruption and nonsense. And I also very much dislike swag play. I have the nightmare flashbacks of swag play Klefki, which was when it would use Swagger to confuse you, jack up your attack stat, and then it hit you with foul play for just absurd amounts of damage. And it is just, that frustration is something only Klefki has really been capable of doing. Because it's just such a bulky it's got such good stats. But when I hit the most, it's Water Psychic type. The Veluza fish. Honestly, Veluza was really more disappointing to me more than anything, because I used it on my main playthrough team for my Violet version, and it just kind of didn't really do much. Like, it's a good beat stick, like it has like decent offensive stats, but it's a bit on the slow side. And now with sharpness, it's a lot better. And I feel like they designed it more with its ability sharpness being present in mind. Because if you get a sharpness one, it's pretty good. But without sharpness, it is kind of lackluster. Hello there, Mr. Chicken Man Roost. Mr. Roost, the Chicken Man. How goes the Chicken Man? Actually, I'm taller. You're a very lanky boy. See? Eliminating the outbreak of Klefki gives me more Sylveon spawns. So, see, Sylveon is okay with me going in and purging Klefki from existence. We destroy Klefki. Hello there, Roost. Come on, the mods, go grab Roost's link. How is Mr. Chicken Man doing? Honestly, it is kind of funny, though, that you are actually taller than me. Because that works, considering the final boss of Metroid Dread. Because, again, tall. Tall man. I'm not lanky. I'm a stout one, properly proportioned. Nah, lanky. Nah, lanky. How is Roost? But you're right, there's a good Pokemon, but annoying when it comes to use Beth. Yeah. Like, it's more so, again, my disdain for it comes from prankster swagger, play rough, Thunder Wave, and then, like, screens. Like, it's such a good Pokemon. I'll knock your lights out. I ain't no friend. What means are good? Yeah, it's like, and then the thing is, it's so garbage in Dynamax Adventures. Like, you have this amazing Pokemon that gets so many amazing support moves, so much good tech that you could make one of the best Dynamax Adventure support Pokemon, and then they just give it garbage moves in Dynamax Adventures. It could have been so good. Like, you could have given it screens. You could have given it, like, metal sound. You could have given it so much. And then they just make it not good. It's like, you could have had a redeeming... There could have been a Klefki redemption arc. I am unbearably tired. My schedule is atrocious. That is a freaking vibe right there. When you kill all the Klefki, I know, Noodle, but the thing is, I don't like Klefki. So this is cathartic to go and hunt them down. I will collect all of the keys that Klefki stole across Paldea. Maybe I'll even find Sora's Keyblade. Exactly. Melt them down and create the Keyblade from the bodies of the Klefki. Especially the Florida Keys. What do you have against Florida, Roost? What do you have against Florida? What do you have against Florida, man? Yes, all the Klefki are gone. Klefki are almost purged from existence. Destroy the Klefki. What do you not have against Florida? I mean, I like crocodiles. Like, crocodiles are cool. Florida's a place you can go see crocos. Crocos are awesome. Florida at least did one thing right. Like, Florida at least does some things right. Like, again, crocos. Come on, let's look for a little potentially gold. They're cool until you put your head in one. See, here's the thing: they're cool to look at. They're not cool to be close to. Which actually kind of reminds me of something. I love dinosaurs, which is something that, you know, will surprise absolutely no one considering the Allosaurus. You know, the Allosaurus plushie, the Godzilla back here, which I it's not the Godzilla yesterday, so we kind of got misaligned. The Godzilla, the fact I love Jurassic Park. Surprise no one. I mean, I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was growing up, so, again, loving dinosaurs, not a surprise. But I remember watching a video on, like, why was it that crocodiles, when like, all the big reptile things got wiped out by the meteor that hit Chicxulub, why was it that, you know, crocodiles survived? And it's like, yeah, crocodiles and alligators can basically eat one big meal, and then they just don't need to eat for, like, a year. So, when the whole world was basically in, like, a blanket darkness Armageddon, they just had to find one big thing to munch on, and then they were good for a long time. Which, again, is terrifying. Well, like, yeah, no, they survive. Only croco I like is crocodile. How can you dislike Skellydirge? How can you dislike the crocodile that makes everything go away by just yelling at it loud enough? It is the megaphone croc. It yells at things to make the problems go away. Okay, all of them have been eliminated. So now we can actually have a better spot at getting some Sylveon encounters. I guess we could have also hunted for shiny, I guess we could have also shiny hunted for Toxtricity up here yesterday. But I like the way I did better. about... He said he liked Crocodile. He has committed a good act in saying he does like about Crockle. Because for alligator is an alligator. Rock, and I did say crocodile. Yes, Rock. My phone would like to Poltergeist. The question is, I don't think it is going to evolve. Based on it, I don't think it'll get... I mean, if it gets an evolution, that's going to be terrifying, because then it can run a Violite. But I'm hoping it doesn't get an evolution. But you never know. Why is my controller having a freaking spaz attack right now? Yeah, it seems like the Sylveon are concentrated around, like, the edge. Okay, no, you're not shiny. Good. It seems like the Sylveon are concentrated to, like, around here. So that is what we're gonna do. I wish there was a way to make a sandwich. I was shocked about the new Poltergeist. I mean, Poltergeist is still... It is still a new Pokemon, relatively speaking. I wish there was a way to make, like, anti-sandwiches that would prevent certain Pokemon or, like, certain typings from spawn. That would be so good. But I get why they don't really have anything like that. I am so surprised that they have not really implemented anything similar to the Repels, but again, kind of can see why they didn't do it. But yeah, it would be so good to have, like, an anti-steel sandwich where... We're off, telemarketers. Where I can just, like, okay, I'm going to make a fairy sandwich, and it's going to say, Uno reverse no you to all steel types. Then again, the difference of types of tea making this new one. I mean, it's not even tea, though. It's like... mochi? No, not mochi. I don't even know what it is, but it's like... It's not tea is what it's made of. It's like... a flavoring, I guess? I don't know. It's interesting. It is an interesting thing. But there is going to be an authentic and a phony form, though. The reason is, if you look at, like, the official art for it, and, like, in one of the screenshots, the little dots on its forehead, in one of the pictures, like, the official art, there is one of those little circles is, well, all three of them are solid in some of the arts. But then for, like, the screenshot of in-game footage, there's one that's an open, like an O, that's just, like, a white, ring, and the inside of it is black. Which makes me think that one is going to be the authentic one, where there's a little, circle and then there's a little dot of black inside of it, with the phony ones being the three dots. Or vice versa, but there's probably going to be an authentic and a phony version of it, because if it's a parallel to Sinisty, I make a return. I have a feeling Archeops is going to return, because we know a bunch of the fossils are coming back. I would love to see Archeops make a return. I would love to see my... Archeops is not my favorite fossil, but I think it's like maybe my third favorite fossil. Keep in mind, my favorite fossil is Cradilly, and my second favorite is Tyrantrum. So, I like it, but it's going up against a pretty good competition. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna spend the rest of, like, this hunting for shiny Sylveon, in addition to, like, maybe hatching some eggs. Because I do want to get back to my Masura hunting of stuff and things. Yeah, no, you little ball on a stick. Freaking... Yeah, Sylveon is definitely one of the longest hunts to do. I would do anything for Archeops to have anything. By the way, I'll be hunting Archeops in Gen 5 at some point after I get Altaria. Fact. I respect that. Also, before you forget, tell you Entei finally. Oh, really? How many encounters did it take for you to finally get Entei's shiny? What do you think of Charizard? I'll be real. I kind of prefer Charizard's base colors to shiny colors. Like, the shiny Charizard does look cool. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Red Eyes Black Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a big fan of, classic Yu-Gi-Oh! So the Red Eyes Black Dragon, pretty cool. But I'll be real. I kind of like Charizard's regular color scheme. I prefer purple shiny Charizard. Like, if they stuck with purple Charizard, That is ideal shiny Charizard in my book. I want Ridley Zard. But, regular shiny Charizard, it's pretty good. But I do kind of like the regular Charizard color scheme a bit more. Because that's kind of the thing with me. Is the base colors for a lot of things I actually tend to prefer. Though I do want to do a Dream Yard hunt. Recently got Gen 5, so I'm proposing a Dream Yard hunt with the boys. When you say a Dream Yard hunt, do you mean full odds Dream Yard Musharna hunt? Or do you mean like just general Dream Yard shiny hunting? Because I believe I would be down for that, my friend. No, it's Ridley. No, it's Ridley, then, because he is purple, and he's a fire-breathing reptile monster thingy. He is Ridley. It is Ridley Charizard. Which, by the way, apparently there's a lot of, Metroid references on, Ridley's color schemes. Like, there's Meta Ridley, there is Neo Ridley, Proteus Ridley. Neo Ridley, for those who don't know, was, if you don't know who Neo Ridley is, you should be checking out our Metroid Fusion playlist, because that's a great, delightful series. You're gonna love it. Basically, it's Zombie Ridley. Yes, it's basically a zombie version of Ridley, which is terrifying, because Ridley is a fire-breathing space dragon. Well, there's no official name for what Ridley's species is. Second shiny cow, got a shiny. Oh no, I don't do it. Let's see it again. Let's see it. But we are going to be shiny hunting for Sylveon again. So let's get hunting for Sylveon again. I still need to get white too. I have black too, but I need to get white too. I believe I have black version and white version. Let's look at my game again. Let me check my collection. Yeah, I have both black and white, but I don't have black too. I mean, I have black too, but I don't have white too. Yet. Meta Floof Noodle versus Tower of Beyblade. Tower of Beyblade. Tower of Beyblade always beats Floof Noodle. Don't ask about the Tower of Beyblade. You had to be here for it. Matcha. That's what it is. He's a finely ground powder ground possibly. Okay, so it's basically instead of Sinistea being so it's basically like the precursor to tea. It is the precursor of tea. Fascinating. Fascinating. For Ash, RNG. Yeah! She got the Beldum, you got the Mewtwo, and then she just could catch absolutely nothing else. Hey, again, I told Ash, I said in a DM, get good. And then her response was, tell me that to my face. And I was like, okay, I'll hop into the chat and say, get good to your face. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't really play Nuzlocke and Soul Links on my off time, is that, and I had her name today, does that want in? Ooh, nice. I would not be hopping into that, because I will be hunting my own Hat Lady family at some point. We'll probably do, maybe one more sandwich of this. Oh, wait, it's eco-friendly. No, tea is generally made with leaves. That's kind of the point of tea. So, it's not really hippie tea when that is literally the point of tea, is it is made with leaves. So, yeah. But yeah, I think we'll run one more sandwich for Sylveon, and then we'll go to egg hatching. Because I would like to work on my Masuda egg backlog. But yeah, it seems around here is the ideal spot to be shiny hunting for Sylveon. Lee is just leaf. I mean, to quote Zuko, tea is just hot leaf juice. Golly. Avatar The Last Airbender, that series just hits different. That series is just absolute 10 out of 10. So good. I think it's been about a year since I last rewatched it, which means in a few months it's going to be time for my annual rewatch of Avatar The Last Airbender. Because, yeah, that is a series that I will basically rewatch on a yearly cycle. Well, not a yearly cycle, but every, like, 18 months I pretty much rewatch after The Last Airbender. Yeah, I don't mind me switching to another game, but we didn't want to. Yeah, I mean, it's persistence with her. It's... She does not want to let the game win. She will persist out of spite for the game. Which is respectable. But also... can be very infuriating. Okay, no, you're not shiny. It's not determination, it's just persistence. Not patience, it's persistence, which is the same thing I say when it comes to, like, everything in general. Like, I'm not patient when it comes to shinies, I'm just persistent. That's what it took to get shiny Ho-Oh. It was, I didn't want to let the game win. So I had to beat the game by getting my shiny Ho-Oh. Which is also why we're going to be doing that shiny hunt for Lugia back in Soul Silver, which is going to be full odds. You know, 1 in 8,192 odds for shiny Lugia. I think I have figured out my whole team for that game. I'm fairly certain I'm using, I know the Pokemon I'm using for that team. Let's go again, so it's going to be... No, it's not going to be Azumarill. It's going to, yeah, because I'm not using Azumarill. I think it's going to be... Lantern is that one? I need to go figure out the rest of what I'm going to be using from... I know I have it written down somewhere. But we are going to be doing that full odds hunt for it. Started my last year. Go nice. Very, very nice. I found out a way to fix my sleep schedule. Shiny hunting Altari instead of taking a nap. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and taking a nap middle of the day, depending how long it is, can kind of screw up your whole sleep cycle. It's one of the reasons I don't take a nap anymore. I used to take naps, but I don't anymore. It is green tea time. It is indeed time for tea. Yeah. One could say it is tea-lightful. You're not shiny, are you? Yeah, no, you're not shiny. It is tea-lightful. Not delightful, but tea-lightful. Again, we got dad jokes. We got dad jokes here. Nothing but dad jokes. You're not shiny, are you? No, I don't think you're shiny. Yeah, you're not shiny. Yeah, again, shiny Sylveon is one of those shinies that is likely going to be... we get an Eevee and then we evolve the Eevee into the Sylveon. Because hunting Sylveon in general is... there's very few things. I'm going to tell you the funny thing why we would pick the game. Soul Link, she said, pick Gen 5 and then you're banned. Well, I mean, remember, she's going to be doing the Gen 5 thing if she gets to monetization by the end of the year. So, we don't want her to spoil that game. We don't want her to get any practice running Gen 5. Which, by the way, if we get to 3K, we are going to be doing a Nuzlocke ourselves. And if we get to 4K by the end of the year, we are going to be sleep-locking it. And you guys are the ones that decide what game we're going to do that for. Hello there, Fancy Duck. How have you been? It has indeed been a while. Again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. But yeah, we got plans for stuff and things like future projects. Fancy Duck. We have not hunted the duck yet. We will eventually be hunting Shiny Quaxley family. That's going to be a fun family to hunt, but we need to get through a lot more shinies first before that happens. Omar, I'm gonna curse you if you get a shiny version of your people on this route. Wait, are you guys in a game together? Are you guys hopping into a union circle? Ash is in DMs. She is having a foaming at the mouth rage attack again. Ash is having an angry spaz fit of rage. Which is fun. Angie, small, intensify. Yeah, like, we're really not seeing too many Sylveon. It is weird, though, that Eevee itself is also very hard to find in this game without an outbreak, and Eevee outbreaks just don't really appear. So yeah, I think we're just going to be... But yeah, going into Alphronado will actually also reset all the spawns, so it's kind of like the same thing as doing a picnic respawn of everything. But I believe, but it depends on which one is actually truly intrinsically a faster method of resetting everything that matters whether or not we do one way or the other. Poltergeist looks like a Starbucks drink. Oh my, I hate it. But you're right. You're right, it does look like a Starbucks drink. You are so completely right on that. I mean, I don't drink Starbucks, so there's that. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're not gonna be... This is gonna be our last, like, Sylveon sandwich. And then we're just gonna go Masuda egg. Any Poltcha will probably just turn green and the blue make it white pink. It probably is gonna end up having the same color scheme as Sinistea has. Because that's what they tend to do with... like regional count. Well, then again, regional variants tend to take the color scheme of their base form. So maybe not. Already got a perfect name for Poltergeist. I'm assuming it's Iroh because Iroh loves tea. I guess I could actually hunt for Go. Well, then again, no, we already got the Go-Goat family. Go-Goat Power Rangers! We already have that family. Is it a pun? I mean, puns are always the source of everything. The puns are the source of my power. So, I approve, if it is. Oh, that's dark, Omar! That's really dark! I like it. Big goal. Big goal. Got the name my cup. I mean, also Joe works, you know, Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe. Wait, are you shiny? I don't think that one's shiny, but I'm checking anyway. I'm going to check the Bagel Dog to make sure it's not sparkling. Get back here, Bagel Dog. Okay, Bagel Dog was not shiny Bagel Dog. Nope, not shiny. Socrates. No, it's because Socrates had poisonous drink. Like, Socrates was killed by drinking hemlock. It's historical joke. It's historical memes, not really a tea joke. More of just a history joke. Like naming Knucklestack or any of the Knackley family Carthage. Even though that is historically inaccurate. They didn't actually salt the ground. How about no, Roost? How about no? Not gonna get me involved with that one. Not gonna get me involved with that one. But yeah, it's been pretty good. Everything's doing pretty well for the channel today. Roost is indeed being Roost. Roost as always. Not Jacob as always, but Roostub as always. Roost as always. You're not shiny. Stupid little balls. I don't want my backup names. You don't want my backup names. Oh boy! You're right, I don't want to know what your backup names are, Roost. You are exactly correct. I mean, the thing is, I don't really name my Pokemon unless they're on my competitive teams, so I don't really go for nicknames. But yeah, it's good. It's so good to find. So wait, can someone check to see if you bring a Pokemon from Scarlet Violet that is marked back into Generation 8, will it still keep the mark? Because I would prefer my marked shiny Grimmsnarl to not lose the mark. I feel like they wouldn't lose their marks, but I just would like to be 100% thorough before I do that and, you know, potentially lose Grimmsnarl mark. Thank you very much, Darklitten. Come on, let's go grab Darklitten's link. How are you doing, Darkest of Litten? Okay, they keep their marks. Okay, good. That is a reassuring fact. Because, yeah, because I'll build the Grimmsnarl in this, send it back into Scarlet Violet. I know, Scarlet Violet, into Sword and Shield. And that's... Happy to, Darklitten. Happy to... I'm looking forward to shiny hunting, eventually hunting, the family of Incineroar. The funny thing is, despite being one of my favorite starters, Incineroar is also one of my least favorite Pokemon because of competitive. Like, Incineroar is a lot like Rillaboom was back in Sword and Shield for me, where I love the Pokemon, I just don't like going against it. It's like the move Scald. I love Scald, I just hate fighting against it. Which is exactly why whenever I can in the EBL, I would always get Gastrodon, which I did. But yeah, my plans for week 1 are pretty much finalized. Yeah, a lot of people are like the same way. Like my friend, Bonon Mode, he's one of the people I play a lot of competitive Pokemon with, from the Penn State Pokemon Club. He said the same thing, whereas like, he likes Incineroar, he just hates going up against it. And one of my other friends, Mr. Bob Dole, he is the same way. He loved Incineroar. He loves using a playthrough. Same with Rillaboom, loves using a playthrough. He just hates it when it comes into online. They were fine before their hidden abilities came out, is his exact words. And like, I don't disagree. Because they became these absolute menaces once that happened. I mean, again, they're awesome Pokemon. But they really did just kind of just overrun everything. Now, granted, Rillaboom is still fairly good. It's not nearly as, like, supremely destructive as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. Like, it's bulky, because it doesn't need to run, it doesn't run speed, because it's run bulky now. And I believe it still historically was always run, like, with more bulk than, actual speed, because you didn't need speed when it was prioritying your face. You'd only really run speed on it to outspeed certain, like, tanks that weren't running speed in order to get a fake out off before, like, they could potentially. So, like, they basically run to out fake out something like Incineroar. I only like Incineroar for its neat design. See, I think the design and, like, the idea of it is really cool. Like, Wrestler Cat. Awesome. Because normally cat Pokemon I'm not a big fan of. Well, outside of, you know, Solgaleo, because, you know, it's a lion. Lions are awesome. But, yeah, generally cat Pokemon were never one of my favorite, like, things. Like, I didn't really care for Meowth, the whole Meowth thing of, you know, a regular Meowth and a Alola Meowth, didn't really care for. Meowstick, not the biggest fan of. Don't care for Meowscarada. Actually, the Legendary Beast, they are actually designed after cats. Was never the biggest Legendary Beast fan. The Luxray family, they actually are also cats. They're lynxes. You know, the name Shinx didn't kind of give that away. They're interesting, but not really my cup of tea. A lot of the cat Pokemon were not really my thing. So Mew's also a cat. But Incineroar just hits different. There will likely be terror raids for the DLC. Omar, would you like to know the Pokemon I would give the name? I don't want to know that, Roost. Also, take that to DMs. That is a thing that belongs in the DMs, Roost. Not really a general thing, because YouTube will dock me for that. I mean, Klefki, if you're gonna be appearing, you might as well at least sparkle. Incineroar is gonna be back, yeah. Again, I don't think there's ever gonna be a generation of Pokemon where Incineroar is never in the game. It's simply too good at keeping a lot of legendaries in check. Like, Xerneas was kind of afraid. Well, Xerneas wasn't afraid of it, but like it definitely kept Xerneas in check. It keeps a lot of legendaries in check. Wait, there was a no, there was a trailer. There was a new. They had a new trailer for the DLC that was out today. Not a leak. It was a trailer for POLTCHAGEIST. You know it's not shiny. Yeah. I would recommend going and looking at it. I am wondering, though, if it is going to evolve. I'm hoping it doesn't, because that way POLTCHAGEIST can't actually have... Well, the thing is, its name is POLTCHAGEIST. So, it's clearly a regional convergent evolution or regional fake of POLTCHAGEIST, which is the second form. Because Sinistee is the base form. POLTCHAGEIST is the big form. So I don't think it's going to evolve. I think that's where, like, the evolutionary line kind of... I think it's going to make this, like, a standalone thing. It's not going to have an evolved form. Or a pre-evolution. I mean, maybe it gets a pre-evolution, but I don't think it's going to be, like... Well, actually, did Tentacool and Toadscruel have different BSTs? I need to check this. Because I feel like with that, we could, like, map out approximately what its stat line is going to look like. Hello, Ember. How are you doing? It's been a while. Can one of the mods go grab Ember's link, please? How is Ember? Miss MBR Ember. Okay, let's see. So, base stat of 515. Alright, let's go to... Yeah, 'cause I'm fairly certain... We'll go to round, jump 4, jump 5, same shot, still cool, might, Toadscruel, base stats. 5. Okay, so regional fakes seem to have an identical BST to their actual counterpart. So I think roughly what we'll get for POLTCHAGEIST is probably the same stat spread as what POLTCHAGEIST has. But how are you doing, Ember? Hope you're doing well. The semester just started, so it's back too quick. Ah, right. You're a teacher, right? I believe. I think that has come up historically. Was a teacher thing. But yeah, semester just started again, which is also why like the channel growth is kind of like going to be nosediving for a while because people are going back to school. Ah, yeah, university mood. Yeah, growth for the channels kind of dips around this part of the year. Like, summer is generally a bit of a good time, but this year's summer was not very kind to it. It seems everyone was not doing super well over the summer, this summer, which, like, that's reassuring in a way that everyone kind of didn't do well, super well over the summer, because, you know, it doesn't, like, me feel as bad, but it also was a little disheartening that summer did not do well, because last year's summer for us was fantastic. Yeah, everyone going back to school watching less stuff, did they? Yeah. Because, like, 2 years ago, the first summer that I was actually streaming, we made out like a freaking bandit with channel growth. It was, like, we were hitting consistently like 250 new people a month. It was insane. But, I mean, that was, like, a very lucky summer I had. That also probably was because it was a much smaller channel back then. People were like, more raid prone, more like, oh, this guy's, streaming, he's small, let's show some support. Which I think might have been what it was more, because I have been noticing a lot of the smaller, creators, they've been like kind of blowing up, and then, kind of like plateaus out a little. Which I think is more down to like, okay, this guy's, smaller, let's give him a little bit of an assist. And then, after, okay, they're well established. I think that's probably what it is. Could be wrong, but like that, because it seems to be like that's kind of the trend, because I know a few others have like the same experience, like they shoot up and then they just like, it doesn't like plateau, but like it steadies out. Which again, that is the way of all things, is, little bit of stuff. Hello there, Omar. Welcome. Hello, Omar. Hello, Omar. But yeah, it was a bit weird. We got the Impidimp shiny, which I'm very happy for. I'm very pleased we finally got that one, and it was marked. Yeah, I've seen the small creators blowing up some out of nowhere. Yeah, I think it is like the smaller ones, they tend to do a lot better, because again, people are like, more in good. Yeah, trust me, I don't get discouraged. If I was someone who got discouraged, I wouldn't have kept shiny hunting Ho-Oh. If I was someone who got discouraged, I would have actually stopped the channel a long time ago. I have a very good motivation for continuing. Meta Clark Kent doesn't get... Exactly! I don't get discouraged. I don't get discouraged. I might be a little bit demotivated sometimes, but I do not get discouraged. After all, I'm the guy forcing himself to eventually play Metroid Other M. So, there's that to look forward to. Also, I just realized I actually have my 2 shiny Paradox Pokemon in my party. Granted, the reason why my Iron Hand is in the party is so it's just ease of access when it comes to Terra raids, because I recommend doing the Terra raids right now, the Grimmsnarl raids exclusively, not the Hatterene raids, because you get so much good stuff out of them. You get so many vitamins, you get a lot of experience candy, and you actually get some TMs that are actually very useful too. Like if you're building any support Pokemon for any Terra raids, or even like competitive, it's so helpful. Blissey just gives out a crap ton of experience candy and a crap ton of Terra Shard, which I'm also just going crazy with. But for Blissey, actually the fastest way of beating the Blissey raids is actually Ursaluna. I usually have my Iron Hand at the party at that. Yeah. But if you're doing the Blissey raids, your best bet is actually Ursaluna. Because if you have a Guts Orb, a Guts Flame Orb Ursaluna with Belly Drum and Facade Earthquake, you pretty much one-shot every Blissey. Because you've got Facade, which, doubles in power when you're statused. You've got, of course, same attack bonus on the Facade, because you're a normal type. You've got Guts, which is a 50% boost on, of course, all your attack stat. And you got Belly Drum, which quadruples your attack stat. So basically, the long and short of it is, with just Guts and Flame Orb activated, you're doing 6 times your normal damage. Which, Bear equals Strunks is basically how strong Ursaluna is. It's basically your best option for just crushing Terra raids. Because you one-shot the Blissey, more or less. So, there's really no need to go on for too long. Which is why, like, again, Ursaluna, one of the best Terra raid things. Bear equals Strunks. Which is why I'm so happy that Ursaluna was kind of kept in check by Urshifu for VGC purposes. Because your Trick Room's got a really hard time going right now with the VGC, which I'm always happy for, because, like, I love Trick Room teams, and a lot of Trick Room Pokemon are, like, generally some of my favorites. But there is one significant edge Trick Room's got over the other field conditions, and that is they generally have a much more effective stat line, because they don't need to invest speed, they can invest like HP in bulk. So like they're generally harder to take down. And Urshifu kind of bodies them right now. Never thought of placing Guts. Yes, the reason why is Guts. Because Guts negates the, you don't get your attack drop from Burn when it comes to Guts Pokemon. And then you get a boost from Facade, because again, Facade is increased in power when you are status. Meaning, you do an absurd amount of damage. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when Ursalune was coming out, were like, this thing is going to be so good, it's finally going to be the answer to Toxapex. Because at the time, Toxapex was still, of course, one of the many Scald users. And the thinking was, oh, Scald Toxapex is going to proc on Ursaluna, and then Ursaluna is going to eviscerate Toxapex. Well, Scald is gone. So, but Ursaluna just still eviscerates things. It's scary. But yeah, there's a lot of little things like that. Again, this is one of the reasons why I said in my 6 things that the DLC for Scarlet Violet needs, one of them was, we need something that helps teach people about these little things in Pokemon. Because there are so many things about abilities and moves that most people, like, the thought of them just never strikes anyone, because we're so attuned to, oh, well, this thing does this in, like, all cases, so we don't think about, well, what's the one case when it doesn't work? Also, like, we don't read abilities. Let's be real. Most of us didn't read abilities. If it wasn't for the fact that I do competitive, I probably wouldn't read abilities. Like, you're talking to a guy who didn't until, like, 5 years ago realize that water-resistant steel. Like, the fact that the games now tell you whether a move is super effective, resisted, or not very effective, legitimately helped so much. So, there is definitely something they need to add that would help people, like, learn a bit more about some of these competitive, well, not only competitive things, but just, like, learn a bit more about how Pokemon and stuff works. Because, again, there's so many little things about Pokemon that people could stand, not necessarily learn, but, like, just be more informed about, like, these little things. And they seem to really be trying to harp on getting people more interested in, like, online and competitive battling. So, why not add in, like, battle facilities? Why not add in something that helps teach people more about battling? Like, they did restricted sparring back in Sword and Shield. Just build on that foundation. Build on that for more, and we should be good. I don't think we're ever gonna get, like, I don't think we're gonna get, like, a full Battle Frontier sort of thing with the Indigo Disc. But I hope we get some sort of, like, battle facilities, because, again, as someone who has seen both ends of the more informed competitive side and the not knowing what you're doing when it comes to competitive side of things, something that helps ease people in is necessary. I had a lot of great coaches when it came to Pokemon competitive stuff. Like, they taught me what I was doing wrong, why I was doing it wrong, and, encouraged me to look stuff up and, figure stuff out on my own. But without people, like, encourage that, it's very easy to get discouraged and not know what you're doing. That's why they need something that can really help people figure out stuff like that. Like, you're literally going to a school. You'd think they would have something that would, tell people about it. Like, there is some of the books in the library that tell you things like, oh, same attack bonus, physical special split. They do that, and I think it was one of the first times they've ever actually mentioned the physical special split in a meaningful capacity, but it's not really enough. I'm so bad at this. I mean, I'd be happy to help teach you, Ember. A lot of competitive stuff really is putting basically 2 and 2 together. It's because most of the competitive stuff are really, like, the basics of Pokemon. It's just kind of realizing, oh, you can take this thing, and that works with this thing. Like, one of the best examples of it is, when you realize that rain weakens fire, okay, so that means that you can put a rain team that's got some grass and bug types and steel types, because they work well together. Or, oh, Solar Beam Sunny Day with solar power. Or not solar power, with chlorophyll. You know, use that to beat your water types. Yeah, it's really a gradual process of, like, taking... Like, it's like pieces of a puzzle, and then gradually fitting those pieces together. You know generally what everything looks like. It's just how do the things connect together is the hard part. But once you start putting things together, then it gets a little bit easier because, you know, you're building off of, you know, pre-established stuff. Not sure I'm following, Ori. Not sure I'm following. But again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you mean a legendary to shiny hunt, I would say... I'm not really a good person to actually suggest for shiny hunting stuff like that, because I'm bad at suggesting things. Okay, no shiny. I'm more into hunting than battles. Yeah, I know most people are, because, again, battling is not an easy thing. There really is a lot that goes into battling. It is a lot to just mentally keep straight. It's a lot of stuff. But it's very fun. Okay, but now we're going to be working on our Masuda Egg Mystery Hunt, because I'm bored and hunting Mudkip and Omega Ruby. Ooh, fun. Is Groudon or which version is Groudon and Kyogre in? Cause I know one's in one version. I think Kyogre's in Ultra Moon, so maybe a hunt for Groudon. Shiny Groudon hunt. That could be fun. Gotta hunt Groudon at some point. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, well, we are going to be shiny hunting now. We're doing our Masuda hunt. So, with our shiny Impidimp hunt finished, we've got some Masuda eggs to get working on hatching. To the game. Hunting Mudkip and Omega Ruby. Yeah, we still need to actually shiny hunt for Mudkip. We've got a Swamper shiny, but we need Mudkip and Mushroom. So let's get working on our sandwiches. We don't need this controller anymore. Actually, no, we need this controller. We do need this controller. Wait, peanut butter sandwich. Winking pika peck. Burn is an Ultra Sun, I believe. Yeah, I kind of thought that way. It's like, wait. Ultra Sun, it would make sense to have Groudon be in Ultra Sun. Can you do a stream where you rate every Pokemon on kills? I'm probably going to do a video for that, all things considered, Noodle Kai. Even though it is hard to hunt. Yeah, the good thing about it is, if you can get to... There actually is a way to tell what wormhole everything is in, because the colors of the wormholes correspond to the different worlds. And I believe that if you get to the double-ringed portals that have, like, the spirals going in and out of it, so there's, like, the regular portal, there's the portal with the one ring around it, the portal with the two rings around it, and then the portal with the two rings, and then, like, smaller things, like, smaller other things around it. If you find those level 4 portals, those, I believe, are guaranteed to have a legendary, if you have not caught all the legendaries already. So that could be the way to go, is that. But hello there, Lunala. How are you doing today? I remember when I was looking for my Kyogre for Richmond Regionals, when that was, like, 4 years... That was 4 years ago almost at this point. Jeez. I had to spend so much time looking for that. That was... Jeez, that was not fun to look for that one. Because I had to get Kyogre and I had to get Rayquaza. But again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. Likes extremely important. And thank you, Omar, for going and grabbing Lunala's. Thank you very, 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 very much. But yeah, let's go get Masuda hatching. We're gonna go check the thing, and oh, thank you also Ember for that. We're gonna go check our Porto Marinata auction house. Dorg, he's upper. He's a pupper. I'm really hoping I don't find another shiny Chespin, because shiny Chespin is actually, we've already got the shiny Chespin family finished. Beat Omar for once, indeed. Omar is Link Ninja. Omar is, speaking of Chespin. Speaking of, got one Chespin. Thankfully, the odds of getting another shiny Chespin are very low. So, but again, even if we do get one, that's gonna go in the shiny giveaway then. I thought you got... We did! These are the leftover eggs. So, this is the Mystery Masuda hunt. What I've done is I've actually gone and I've basically just, like, mixed in the rest of the spare, Hisui and Growlithe eggs with the rest of the eggs I've had. So, that way, we just work on getting rid of those at the same time. Again, these are the spares. Again, we're still going to be hatching these, like, Chespin for a while, because I had a bunch of Chespin eggs still after we actually got the thing. So, we're going to go and do that, because, again, the eggs are all mixed up together. It would take a long time to go through and pick out every single Chespin egg by hand. So what I'm doing is I'm just going and I'm hatching them all at once in a big one night do. It would down to just be less time consuming. Alright, let's go. Let's get going. And hopefully we will find another shiny, because we generally seem to find shinies when we are... It seems to be like shiny Mudbray a lot of the time when we're hatching eggs. So, hopefully we find more. Hopefully we find more. Hope we find more sparkles. If we find a shiny Rockruff, Ash is going to kill me, because we think we're going to shiny race for that one at some point. All friends love Ember, all friends love Kayla. Hearing you talk makes me sleepy. I didn't think I'd have a soothing voice, but good to know. I mean, I know Pokepidge has a very soothing voice. Because, like, I was editing the pre-season interview with Pokepidge, and I was getting, like, ASMR vibes when I was editing his portion of the video. I was like, soothing voice, Pokepidge, soothing voice, it's terrifying to battle against. That was Deerling. I mean, Deerling, too. We like to forget Deerling exists. I would ideally forget Deerling exists. No! No Deerling command! No, only when Ash is here. Only when Ash is here can that be done. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, there's Rockruff. Yeah, Rockruff here, around here. I'm gonna be doing eventually a Masuda hunt for Own Tempo Rockruff. That's gonna be fun. But yeah. Eventually I'm gonna be doing a shiny hunt for Rockruff with Own Tempo so I can get a shiny Dustblack Rock. Because I already have shiny shiny Lycanroc done. But it's more like a vanity project of wanting all the forms. Like, because for me, the way I'm doing it is the living shiny dex will be satisfied if it is same dex number. So, like, I would only need one shiny Johto Wooper to evolve into shiny Quagsire. I wouldn't need two because I already have a shiny Paldean Wooper. If I want to go for another one, that's, you know, just because, you know, personal wanting to, but not, you know, requirement for my, because, I mean, everyone has their own, you know, rules for the living shiny decks. It really makes me mad at the game because I still don't have a shiny one. I mean, where do you usually play Ember? You know, do you generally go to the areas of frequent deer traffic, or do you generally, like, avoid them? Scarlet. Not gonna lie, out of all three Lycanrocs, my favorite is always Midnight. Interesting. I know a lot of people who like Midnight. I think they're all pretty cool. Personally, I do like Dusk form, but I did play with a Dusk form Lycanroc on my team when I first played Ultra Moon, so a little bit of bias in it was the first form that I had, and the first one I ever experienced, so like there's that. But I like it. I think it's neat. But yeah, I think that they're pretty cool. I like the Lycanroc family. I think of all the dog Pokemon that are probably my favorite. I've been in the high traffic deer areas and have done outbreaks too. Wow. Ember, that was me with Entei and Dynamax Adventures. So I had the chance to last night. Yeah, Kayla finally got her shiny Entei. Finally got it. So many Rowlet. So many Rowlet eggs. It's gonna be another Rowlet. We only need one more shiny Rowlet. Oh, no, it's Charmander, okay. Yeah, if I want a shiny hunt for a regional one, so I want to try it for like Hisuian Decidueye, I probably do that on my own time off screen. But yeah, that's kind of going to be also I need a shiny hunt eventually for Salandit at some point. Because the good thing is I already have shiny Salazzle. I guess you just should do a whole Deerling hunt and get it over with, but I hate it. I mean, we've all got our White Whale. We've all got that one shiny hunt that goes on forever. Chespin, I don't need you anymore for living shiny decks. We don't need you anymore. We don't need the Chespin. But yeah, it honestly would have taken me far longer to go through and actually pick out every single Chespin egg than it would have been to just go and just do them all normally. Plus, again, the chance of me getting a duplicate shiny is fairly low for it, so yeah, let's just go for it. Let's go for it. Also, those of you wondering why I'm actually doing this way and not going around Mesagoza, it's because I want to go to the Puerto Morado auction house. Because I want to go check to see if there's any Apricorn balls for sale there, because I like collecting the rare Pokeballs. You can only get them that way, or doing the Ace Academy tournament, which sucks. We're both happy and sad when I got Entei Shiny, because I was happy because Kayla... And sad because Kayla's shiny that day too. Nice! I think we started on Shiny Salandit. I have 4 male shinies. Yeah, I got my shiny Salazzle via Dynamax Adventures. I got mine as my friend Echo says, the coward's way out. But I don't care that I got mine the coward's way out. I still got my shiny Salazzle, and I got it legit. So, I'm happy. I don't need to suffer. Because I've heard the horror stories of the shiny Salazzle hunt. I've heard horror stories. And I have no desire to be part of it. I mean, it's the same reason I'm not gonna shiny hunt, like, female shiny starters. Because, again, same sort of thing. It's like the same gender ratio, and it's just, it's functional for Salazzle. Also functional for Combi, because we also did shiny hunt for female Combi, because we need to get a shiny Vespiquen. That one is functional, there's a difference. But, like, for Slyman, where he's going for a shiny female Simp Cat, it's just a vanity project. Again, 12 shiny male Sprigatito in, and still no female. And Sly wonders why we joke. Kind of expecting the deal to start at midnight of that direction. I think, for me, speaking of the stuff I'm not surprised that, Alchemy's coming back into Scarlet Violet. Because it is, bar none, the single best Rage support Pokemon there is. And, like, they need to make better Rage support Pokemon. It's going to be probably... I'm hoping when it comes to the DLC too, we get something like Dynamax Adventures with Terastal raids. And if they do that, I am expecting expecting they're gonna have something where, of course, Alchemy is a part of that, because, again, Alchemy, one of the best support Pokemon of the game, and it's just terrifyingly effective at that. So that's gonna be a good plan. But, again, we don't really know. I think that they're gonna have Terra raids for legendaries, and I don't think it's gonna be like Terra raids in like the way the Mewtwo Terra raid is. I think that's just specifically for Mewtwo. And the reason I think that is, if you look at all of the legendaries that just exist within the Pokemon games, there's probably like 80 legendaries at this point. There is so many legendaries. They could do like one legendary a week for a year, and they still wouldn't be done with all the legendaries. And then it also screws over people who may not have had the game or were not playing during that 1 week. So you end up screwing people over. They have to make some way of people being able to get legendaries that is not tied to something like the Terra raids, or at least not tied to a time-locked Terra raid event. That's why I think this Mewtwo raid event is really just for Mewtwo. What do you think of the easiest Pokemon to shiny hunt? What do you think is the easiest Pokemon to shiny hunt? Fluttermane. There's a lot of Pokemon that I would say would be the easiest to shiny hunt. The main reason for it is there's a lot of Pokemon that are the only Pokemon of a specific typing in the area they are. So that way you can just, okay, do this sandwich, and then you only get that Pokemon in that area. Like, a good example, Seviper. If you're going for shiny Seviper in Scarlet, or not Scarlet, in Violet, you can go to the area where the Seviper spawns, do a poison sandwich. It is the only thing that will spawn there. Frigibax, same way. You can go to Glaciadio Mountain, drop a Dragon-type sandwich. The only thing that's going to spawn in is the Frigibax family. Do same with Ghost. The only thing that's going to spawn in is the Houndstone family. So there really isn't an easiest Pokemon to shiny hunt. It's more so Pokemon that share a couple of features. That being they're the only Pokemon of that typing in the area that they are hunting. Because I would say all shinies, aside from like maybe Igglybuff, are fairly easy to spot. Easiest to spot and best spawns. Easiest to spot and best spawns? Hey, Evergrande, how you doing? Easiest to spot and best spawns. That's a good question. Probably Salazar, all things considered, because there's a lot of areas where Salazar is the only dragon type, and you just put on a dragon type sandwich and get it. Iron Valiant, very easy to spot in its cave in Area 0. Comet, very easy to spot. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a fairly significant number of relatively easy to spot shinies. And they're the only Pokemon of that typing that actually spawns in the area where you can shiny hunt them in. So, again, there's a pretty significant... Orthworm, very, very easy to shiny hunt because it's bright blue. Yeah, there's a pretty significant number of them. Lechonk. I have had it with Lechonk. I don't do the AFK method. I didn't do the... Oh, then I did a Salazar Outbreak. But, yeah, Salazar, you just run around. Because, again, it sticks out pretty heavily. Yeah, I didn't do the AFK method for it. I don't really like AFK shiny hunt methods. I like being a bit more active. Granted, a large portion of that comes from, that's part of why Legends was not really my favorite thing, because you don't really actively hunt in that game, you just passively do. What are you doing in the future if Pokemon gets a new game? Shiny hunt in that game, play that game, do competitive in that game? I'm not really sure what the question actually is. I would play the game. is what I would do. What about dying? What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is you're generally just flying around in circles, and then you climb up to a mountain, hop on Hisuian Braviary, and just keep doing that. Again, it's not really AFK, but you're not really, like, devoting your full attention to the actual game itself. That's one of the reasons why I prefer, like, shiny hunting in this game, because you do need to be paying attention to the game. Even if you're Masuda hunting, you need to, you know, keep focusing on the game to, you know, not run things. Yes. Yeah, I will continue playing Pokemon, David. Yes. I will continue playing Pokemon. That's a fairly... And again, guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like on the stream. The only two Pokemon I care about to be in the Teal Mask are Torterra and Electivire. Oh, thank you, Ember. I'm not a Pokemon Master. I'm a smooth brain. I am a Pokemon smooth brain. I would say I know more than the average person, but that is not too much of a thing, I would say. It's got like the button on it. Wait, right, we were supposed to go back to Mesagoza. I'm so used to basically running between here and Glaciadio Mountain for my shiny hunting that it was like, wait, why am I going back to the... Right, no, I need to go to Mesagoza. I mean, to be fair, it is a fairly odd question, so to defend Maxwell there, it was a pretty weird question. Like, I will play the Pokemon games, yeah. Thank you, I do try, Abercrombie. It is you guys who keep all the stuff here going. Again, like, we literally could do nothing if it wasn't for you guys. That's one of the reasons why, like, the likes are very important on the videos, because they help get the video out to more people. That's also why, like, if you see any, like, comments in any of the videos, like, that's why it's important to go back and watch the older videos, because that shows that the people, that you guys enjoy watching the videos. And again, don't forget to leave a like on those videos as well. Happy to return to Area Zero after this. Probably gonna be the DLCs are gonna open up areas within Area Zero. We kind of talked about this in a previous stream, but very likely the Indigo Disc DLC is just gonna open up a deeper portion of Area Zero where you just go to more. Because actually, it's leather, and I'll show what I'm thinking for it. Because here it is. There we go, Zero Gate. Because the very weird thing about Area Zero that, again, at first was like, this is just very strange, and the more, like, it sort of sat there and marinated, it was like, no, this actually makes sense why they did this. Is the Great Crater of Paldea. Because unlike in Sword and Shield, there's no trains. There's no trains in here where you could just take a train and that would take you down to the south. And even then, there was a whole, like, southern area where, like, there's all the mountains, like, yeah, which blocked off flat. It was a bit weird. But over here, we go into, Area Zero. Area Z row. Area Z row. You've got... Right, it's over this way. It's been a while since I've had to go to this cave. It's the Iron Valiant Roaring Moon Cave, where this... Iron Valiant was actually our first ever shiny hunt we, like, sandwich did for Paradoxes, so... it was also a very fast hunt. So that was actually really fun. But yeah, I'm fairly certain I know where the Indigo Disc is going to have, like, the continued areas be. Hello there, Bundleface. Hello there, Delibot. We like Delibot. Delibot is a fun little robot. But yeah, that is one of the reasons why it is important, guys, like, to go back and watch, like, the older videos, and, like, whenever you watch the older videos, you know, leave a like. It helps the engagement and, you know, get the videos out to more people. Because you guys are the ones that make this a community. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be some jackwagon talking into a camera. There we go. Yeah, we came here to hunt Farigiraf shiny, which probably I'll have to go back and do it. Should I go and do the reference again? Maybe. I will have to consider doing that at some point again, because I would kind of like to get that. I think it's... Yes. Over here. Yeah, this cave. Because, like, Area Zero is unlike any other previous Pokemon area in this game, which is everything is horizontal. So it is, you go straight across, more or less. There's a few areas that are vertical, but most of the game is horizontal. And yet, there is this cave over here with these big symbols carved into the ground. And yet, there is nothing here, seemingly, when the entire area of Area 0 is a vertical, vertical layout. And then there's this one cave that is horizontal. And then there's this big glyph just scrawled into the dirt. And it is a square. Nature does not make straight lines. This is a doorway that is going to open up in the Indigo Disc, or at the very least the Teal Mask, and I am calling it now. Electro Monkey versus Fire Monkey. I don't think Electivire is a monkey, or a gorilla. I think. Maybe it is. I don't think it is, though. Well, then it's like a Yeti, I think. Maybe it is. Yeah, it was one of you. Yeah, again, the cave is just an anomaly. But again, it sticks out. There's nothing subtle about the cave. Which is why I think it's where the Indigo Disc is, because everyone thought the DLC area was gonna be over here. Everyone thought it was gonna be right here. And I kept saying, it's not gonna be right there. The reason why this area looks so different is because it is an open world, and they need the boundary to be somewhere. Like, it's Spain. You can't just make all of this water, because it would be weird. Again, Spain would just be an island, so you just make it mountains. This was always going to be the easiest point of speculation, and I think that's what they were banking on. I think the devs were banking on people thinking the DLC was going to be Kalos, and that you go that way, because it's the easiest place you can see it. It's this weird, blurred out, scratched out area on the map. That's got to be the DLC area. Now, they wanted to focus on the obvious area, well, they pulled a sleight of hand, and it's actually Area 0. The actual most obvious place, but no one would look there because it's too obvious. That's the brilliance of them. But again, I didn't fall for it, because logically, they were never going to include Kalos within the game for one reason. They would not make nearly as much money as they could by just making a Kalos game. Like, that's the thing. You would not sell... Like, you'd be basically doing double the work for a single game, plus a little more in terms of payout. You wouldn't be getting, the same amount of inflow of money. So why would they spend the same amount of money for a lower profit than spend the same amount of money just making two separate games? That's the reason why I don't think we're really going to ever get more Pokemon games that have multiple regions in them, because the amount of development programming that needs to go into that is so intensive with the modern game, with how, it's 3D modeling, you have to make it accessible from every area, you have to, model things out much more heavily. Back in the days of Gen 2, where programming was significantly less intensive, because it was, again, much more simple, you could do that without really spending too much extra stuff. Because again, Satoru Iwata, the compression algorithm he made was insane. They could fit it all in there. And also, again, back with Generation 2, they thought Gen 2 was going to be the last Pokemon game. So it was oh, we'll end off, the Pokemon, because we think that Gen 2 is going to be the last game, by just going back and revisiting Kanto. Which, that does not exist for the modern games. The modern games are spiraling into their own thing, and going to the previous area just wouldn't really, again, it wouldn't be cost effective. Living Dex is going, how are you going for Living Dex? Yes, we're going for a Living Shiny Dex. We are going for a Living Shiny Dex. But yeah, it's one of the things about, making multiple regions within a game that I don't think is realistically going to happen, because we all think, oh, everyone would go crazy and, buy this, game that has, all these extra regions in it, when you really wouldn't get too many people buying a game just because of that region. That's kind of the thing when it comes to developing and, like, adding features into games that, like, the bottom line of developers is. It's nothing about what do we think that people will buy. It is, will the amount of money spent on adding this feature be returned in sales for that specific feature? Yes. We've actually got the entire Dynamo family. Why is Shiny Sylveon still in the thumbnail? Because we'll probably go back to Shiny Sylveon every so often. We'll probably go back to that. We're sort of taking a break for it to hatch some Masuda eggs, then like just flip-flop back to it every so often. But yeah. Very likely, I don't think we're gonna get more stuff, like more games with like more regions in the game. Just, again, cost-effective like that. It's also largely the same reason we probably will never get, like, challenge mode in a Pokemon game again. Because the amount of, like, money that would need to be spent to, like, you know, create a challenge mode, you know, sort of, like, test out, like, will this work, you know, would this be balanced, and again, spend time, you know, thinking about those things like that. No, Shiny Electric was a very easy Pokemon to spot. Its Shiny sticks out more than you'd think. We actually have a stream of doing that. It was one of our earlier Sword and Shield, Sword and Shield Scarlet Violet streams. If one of the mods could go hunt through the Electros Shiny Hunt stream, like find that one, that would be good. But yeah, we Shiny hunted the Electros, months ago. It was one of our earlier Shiny hunts. And they stick out pretty heavily. We had an Electros outbreak for that. But, here's a good thing for Shiny hunting. If you have a Pokemon go into, let's go attack, let's go battle mode, so like they go out and they do this, they will knock out everything. Like, if you basically send it to attack something, they will knock that Pokemon out, unless it is a Shiny. They will not knock Shinies out. So you can use that to check to see if something is a Shiny. And that's actually how we got Dynamo. Dynamo, you can barely tell whether it's a Shiny or not. So what I did was, I just had my Walking Wake go through and systematically eliminate every single Dynamo until the outbreak ran out. Then, if we didn't get a Shiny, or if it didn't attack it, well, we go and we encounter that Dynamo. If it's Shiny, we got our Shiny. If it's not Shiny, okay, we knock it out and we just move on to the next one. And then, we just restart if it doesn't get the Shiny. It sounds a bit more confusing than it actually is, and that's because I'm bad at explaining things, but general gist of it. But yeah, Electric did stick out pretty heavily. Again, when you're seeing the same Pokemon, say, for like 20 minutes, and then one looks slightly different, you take notice of it. Like, we found Shiny Staravia relatively quickly. We found Shiny Deerling relatively quickly. Shiny Jigglypuff, when we found that Shiny, we found that Shiny fast. You take notice of the Shiny. Zorua 2.0. I mean, the Zorua Hunt, that was different. The Zorua Shiny Hunt, you can't actually see if it's shiny or not. You need to actually, you need to either encounter them all one by one, or do the KO method to check to see if it's a shiny. So Zorua was a little bit of its own separate animal, but yeah. I mean, ideally, if you're hunting Zorua, I would say Masuda method might honestly be the better method, because it's less involved, I would say. But it's faster to do with sandwiches because if you're on your attack game, it goes through pretty quickly. You want a very fast, high mobility Pokemon like Iron Valiant or, what's its name? Iron Leaves, I found was fantastic. Or Fluttermane, because they move around relatively quickly and then we go and just knock it out quick. So you want something that can move around very quickly if you're doing that. Yeah, Zorua it's fairly straightforward for how to hunt Zorua's shiny. It's just more mentally involved and can be a bit more mentally exhausting. I'm also working on a shiny dex. I'm afraid of Pokemon in the water. Yeah, Pokemon in the water, the way that I do them is just I send my Pokemon in Let's Go mode out to attack them, and if they don't attack them, okay, that's probably a shiny. And then I go and counter it and see if it's a shiny or not. I cannot click on your YouTube channel. You might want to just refresh the page, Omar, and try to see if that works. That could be the problem. I mean, alternatively, you could... Well, Finizen sticks out. Finizen is blue normally, the shiny's purple, so that sticks out very heavily. Shiny Finizen is actually a very easy one to spot. Ones in the water that are easy to spot are, I mean, Gyarados is, obviously, like, the big one that most people know is, like, fairly easy to spot. Dragalge and Scarlet can stick out a fair bit. Marini sticks out very easily because then it's all pink. Clauncher, Clawitzer, they're bright red for the shiny. The normal one is blue, so they stick out pretty well. What are the others that are just pretty easy to spot that are in the water? Magikarp, Ice-Cube, because its face is purple. Not face is purple, its face is pink. There's a lot of them that stick out. The minus thing when it comes to shiny hunting Zorua is no disguise. Yes. Again, that's the other thing is you can just make a dark type sandwich, and that makes hunting it very easy. Because if you go to Medali and you see like a Maschiff or Mabostiff all on its own, that is a Zorua. Mabostiff will always spawn with 4 Maschiff around it. And it also, if it runs away, that is a Zorua. There's a lot of easy ways to tell whether something is a Zorua or not. But also, do not fall for the trap of if you see a Zorua outbreak on your map. Zorua does not outbreak. Zorua does not have outbreaks. So, those do not actually appear. I have Finizen, Shellos, Arrokuda. Really? Oh, Shellder, not Shellos. We still need to shiny out the Shellos family and get the full Shellos family. Because, like, we still need that one. I'm still working on getting that one. And again, guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Yeah, I still need to get Shellos. I'm a big fan of the Gastrodon family, and that's one shiny I really want to go and get. Really want to get Gastrodon's shiny. So, Secluded Beach. Secluded Beach is this one? This one's the Secluded Beach? Yes, Secluded Beach. Yeah, that's where we were hunting for it, but we just... Yeah, we did it a few times and we just didn't get like, the shiny. We're going to go back and do it eventually because we still need to get shiny Split. So we're going to continue that there. When we get it and a Shellos, we will go for shiny Gastrodon, which we'll just go do a ground sandwich for that, which is going to make it much easier to go find because only Gastrodon will appear for that, with a ground sandwich. So that's the plan. I have plans for various shiny hunts of certain Pokemon species, so there's that. Like Mimikyu is one that I'm going to be Masuda breeding for my shiny on that, because I have a Love Ball Mimikyu back in my Ultra Moon version, which actually my Ultra Moon is presently in my 3DS XL, where we are doing our shiny Eevee hunt via SOS chain. So eventually I'm going to be moving my the thing up into the modern games, and then that is going to be Masuda bred for... That is eventually going to be Masuda bred in order to give me my my shiny thing. Right, I was going to make a picnic. We got the we've also got the entire shiny Scatterbug Fantasticals. I forget a lot of Kalos Pokemon family names. I will be completely real. They don't like retain my memory. What's going on with I do not know why it is not letting me. Can anyone else click on the channel and will that work? Can anyone else? It's let's see. Can I click on my, yeah, I can click on my own channel. Omar, can you go? You can go to my Discord and just copy like my link from that channel. Like that, you can go to my Discord, click my name, and my channel is I believe linked on my Discord. So you could probably go and get it from there, or just go at the top bar and type in @MetaMaxus to just go directly to the channel. Or you can just, go click on the playlist link right there and just, like, wipe out the playlist part. That also would probably work. Whew. I need to get some more water. It's boiling in here right now. Yeah, for those who don't know, my room is basically a freaking oven at times. So, hydrate or dihydrate. There we go. Also, probably should open more wind in. It's freaking boiling in here right now. It's probably gonna just absolutely destroy the lighting on the camera. But better to be improperly lit than it is to be absolutely vaporizing boiling right now. Hello there again, guys. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. So again, like, my face is so washed out when the light is there. This is like, would the light help with that? I guess that's a little better. That's a little bit of an improvement. Then I got, like, this like two-face look going on right here. I guess that's a little better. Yeah, no, nothing too good. I need to get better lighting for this whole thing. Just got a Magnemite on my first 30 seconds of the sandwich and give me location for Pawnyard. Good location for Pawnyard where I shiny hunted was, I think it's like Showdown Falls or whatever it's called. It's the place where you get, like, the Dragonite. We're just doing Masuda hunt right now, David. We're egg hatching our mystery shiny hunt. It's right here is where I shiny hunted for my Pawnyard family. Dark Sandwich or Steel would also work, and we got it there. So that's, I would say, probably one of the better places to go. What's a big glitch? Or let me enter your page now. Just tell me you don't have a playlist. That's very weird. That's very, very weird, Omar. Huh. I'm worried I would find a bishop instead of a pawnyard. Why were you worried about pawnyard? Why are you worried about the bishop, not the pawnyard? Curious. Any reason for the specifically the pawnyard? Because I know in Tag Tree Thicket you can also find Pawnyard. I don't think you can get Bisharp there, though. So I guess that could also work. We just do a Steel Sandwich for that. Because if you do Dark, you get Impidimp, because we actually hunted Impidimp earlier in the stream. So might be best to go that way. But yeah, it's weird times. It's 90% Bisharp, but 1% Pawnyard, and into Pawnyard for my decks. I have Pawnyard in the... Oh, shiny! Alright. Yeah, I guess Tag Tree Thicket might be your best place to go then. Let me go do a little bit of looking. See, Unova... Do another Unova thing. Lavesta, Burfairy, Pawnyard. Scroll down to where it is. Map. It's the map, it's the map, it's the map. Pawnyard. Yeah, Tag Tree Thicket. Also, it appears in the, like, desert thing northwest of Lavencia. So it might be good to do, like, a steel sandwich or a dark sandwich in that area. So I don't think Bisharp would spawn in that area either. Yeah, Tag Tree Thicket also would be a good place to go. But yeah, that would probably be the best way to do it. Because, I mean, we actually got... Because whenever Bisharp and stuff spawn inside of Showdown Falls, or whatever that place is called, it is one Bisharp that spawns in, like, 4 Pawnyard, and you get also, like, just Pawnyard on its own. So you get more Pawnyard than Bisharp. But I do understand like that, where that's actually a worry I have as well. That's why I'm not going for Venomoth, not Venonat, inside of, Fury Falls. That's not Showdown Falls. Yeah, I think I was thinking of Showdown Cliffs in Xenoblade Chronicles, because that's a location name in that game. And I was like, oh yeah, mixing it up like Fury Falls with Showdown Cliffs. Because I don't really go there too often. Remember also when I'm there, I gotta find a low kick. Good. We are big fans of low kicks. Why am I getting so many freaking Chespin after I... Well, then again, I know why I'm getting so many Chespin. I said I didn't want any shiny Chespin because I've already gotten the shiny, compared Chespin family. That's why I'm getting them. I don't need them anymore. Telemarketers, go off. Go off, telemarket whores. If you're lucky, Bisharp might... Well, the thing is that Bisharp doesn't need to hold the leader's crest. Yours doesn't need to hold, but he's looking for a shiny Pawnyard, not shiny Bisharp. But yeah, when you're evolving Bisharp into King Gambit, yours does not need to hold the leader's crest. It is exclusively the Bisharp that you are fighting against need to hold the leader's crest. I knew a lot of people that thought they needed one, and I was like, no, you just caught one that you could have KO'd and gotten your King Gambit evolved a lot earlier. And they were not happy when they said that, like, well, yeah, the reason why there's so much misinfo about whether or not King Gambit evolved that way or not is because everyone pretty much who's checking there is using that if they give their Bisharp the leader's crest. And so, yeah, they're evolving it, but they're always doing that. They're not doing it the other way to test. Because, well, it could take longer, so, well, why take the risk? It's like, no, we just don't have it on there. And that's what I did. And it doesn't, it was very funny. But yeah, I found that very, very amusing. But, yeah, it's one of those things, like the Mew under the truck, that it goes to show you, even today, rumors about video games can still spread like absolute wildfire, even if they are wildly untrue. You just need that one little grain of believability for people to be like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. And it's like, that's funny. It's like, it is literally the Mew under the truck of today was the King Gambit Leader's Crest. I wouldn't say it's as, like, pervasive as the Mew under the truck, because the Mew under the truck was its own separate, like, whole animal, because, again, Mew was its own thing. But it is that kind of thing, medical food. But do not want to. Well, did you get a good night's sleep last night, or what? Because you may need to go and get some sleep if that is the case. Because that is not generally good. Because I know when I get tired, I generally will like pack it and call it a night. But generally, if you are feeling the need to sleep, it might be best to actually sleep, or at least take a rest. So many freaking Chespin. How many more boxes I got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got about 4 boxes left. Whee! but we generally go through about a box. We go about a box and a half. So we should be good with this. No, is your brother woke me up? Yeah, then you might want to probably like go to sleep earlier today, because it's not good to force yourself to not get a lot of sleep. I speak from experience, because a lot of the time I don't really get as much sleep as I should. That's part of the reason I have actually decided to like shift streams a bit earlier into the day, because, well, my sleep schedule is kind of completely boned, and it's a good thing to sort of adjust that into, you know, allowing my sleep schedule to allow a little bit more time sleeping. I'm not going to sleep at like 1 a.m. and then waking up at like 8 or 8:30. Or even 7. Hello there, Humberto Lionheart Plays. I am doing very well today. How are you doing? We got a shiny marked Impidimp today, which is fantastic, because I really wanted that. Wanted that before EBL prep begins. Mostly, actually, I am finished with planning my Week 1 match against Doorman, working on planning Week 2 against Pokepig, which is going to be fun. And yeah, it's going pretty good, to be honest with you. Yeah. It was over odds. Like, we've been hunting Impidimp for a good while, and we finally got it. The EBL prep is going pretty well. Well, the Winston's waking up early. That is a mood. Yeah, EBL prep has been going pretty well. I'm working on my plan for Pidge, and it's coming together fairly well. It's coming together very well. I'm really looking forward. Who am I facing first is Doorman, so I am facing the Doorman first. He was my Week 1 last season, so this is revenge time. This is revenge time. No, it has not started already, but it is time for it. Week 1 starts next week. It's the 27th through the 2nd, I believe, is Week 1. So we are almost upon us. But I've got the infamous Notepad of Doom. I've got the Notepad of Doom with all my notes. Yeah, for those who don't know, I keep thorough records when I am planning. I take no half measures when it comes to battling. I take my battling very seriously. How many EBLs do you have? There's only the one EBL. It is the Elite Battle League. For rounds of a week, there's 5 weeks of the first preseason of it. Then, depending on how well I do, I can go on to playoffs and semifinals, well, quarterfinals and finals, depending on how well I do. So, it could be anywhere from like 5 weeks to potentially, if I don't qualify for playoffs, which I think I probably will qualify for playoffs, to like 9 weeks, I think. So it's yeah, makes sense, yeah. But it's gonna be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm really looking forward to Season 7 when it goes over to Scarlet and Violet. It's a large part of why I've been like really hitting the Grimmsnarl and Blissey raids super aggressively, as well as, of course, the previous ones against Hydreigon and Scizor, because you get so many Terra Shards from the Blissey raids, and then the Scizor, Hydreigon, and, Grimmsnarl and Hatterene raids give so many vitamins. And they're just, well, the Hatterene raids, I just think they're not worth doing Hatterene raids. It's too annoying of a Pokemon to actually beat. Whereas Grimmsnarl is just extremely easy to curb stomp. It really is just not worth doing Hatterene. Whereas just Grimmsnarl is like, it's such a joke to go and just crush Grimmsnarl. Season 7 is going to be fantastic. I honestly think Season 7 of the EBL, the person with the most advantage in Season 7 is actually going to be the person at the bottom of the draft, not the person who picks at the top. Because the person who picks at the top is either going to get, like, the weather or terrain setter for, like, the Paradox Pokemon group they want to use, but the person at the bottom, or they get the Paradox Pokemon they want to use, but the person at the bottom gets, like, 2 picks back-to-back. So say, I'm, first pick. Oh, I pick Fluttermane first. Okay, well then I gotta go through, like, the gauntlet of, like, 11 or more other people to hope someone doesn't pick Torkoal before it gets all the way back to me. Whereas, if, say, Torkoal or Pincurchin doesn't get picked, then the person right at the bottom is like, oh, Torkoal and Pincurchin. And they just get them right immediately. Hey, nice work, Gage. Nice work, Gage. You got your shiny Ponyard. Very nice. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But the good thing is that there's a lot of Pokemon for their Terra types. Their Terra types are extremely predictable for most Pokemon. Like, King Gambit, there's really maybe 3 Terra types that King Gambit goes for. Ghost, Flying, and Fairy. It basically exclusively goes for those, because those are like the most advantageous ones for it. It's for much of the same reason why I don't think Zoroark is going to be... Why I think Zoroark is not going to be as big of a help in this is, like, Zoroark, Hisuian and Zoroark, Unova. Because, you gotta think. Zoroark is going to go in disguised as a Pokemon that... its weaknesses do not... that it's resistant, that Zoroark's resistances or immunities are the weaknesses of the Pokemon you're going to have. So, you're going to want that, but also further on layer of that is you're going to want something that Zoroark can body what counters that. Watch someone choose Zoroark again. Oh, I'm fully expecting Zoroark to get picked by them again. I'm fully expecting that. Locations for Bronzor. I would say the best place to shiny hunt Bronzor would be the ruins in Asado Desert with a Psychic Sandwich. Meta, what do you think will happen in battle after the DLC is over? What do you mean by what do I think will happen in battle when the DLC is over? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, but I'm fully expecting them to get Zoroark again. But again, the good thing is, I don't think Zoroark is as big of an edge as somewhat could imply. Because the strength of Zoroark is that it's like very like fake out mind games, but through like logical deductive reasoning you can figure out, well, what are the most advantageous things for Zoroark to be? And what are the most advantageous things for Zoroark to... What are the most advantageous things for Zoroark to pretend to be? At the same time, what is the most advantageous thing that the bluff of being Zoroark could work best for? So sort of like, it's the multiple layers of mind. Oh, what doesn't happen? There's really nothing that you can say, like, prediction-wise, because we don't know what Pokemon are coming back. We know a fraction of what Pokemon are coming back, but we don't know all of what's coming back. We don't know what the rest of the new moves are, and we don't know what the abilities... Well, we know what the abilities of the Loyal 3 are. We don't know what the abilities of Terapagos, of Ogerpon. We know what their stats and typings are. We know... the phrase I always will use is the one from Roanoke Games. 1% is what you know. 1% is what you know you don't know. And the other 98% is what you don't know that you don't know. So it's like, we know... We don't know really anything right now. So... I would say in introspect about what the meta could look like shaping up may amount to kind of nothing, because again, everything can completely change. Like, we could get Togekiss back, and then we have another Follow Me user. Or, we could just, like, not get Togekiss back. We have no clue. And there's still other Pokemon that are, like, evolutions or even new Pokemon that we just simply don't know about yet. There's so much up in the air. But I'm predicting EVL Season 7, Kleavor is gonna go hard. It's gonna be insane. I know, that's why I corrected myself about it. We know the Loyal 3's abilities. Toxic Chain. That's why I corrected myself in saying we do know the Loyal 3's abilities, we don't know what their stats and typings are. Which, I would say arguably is significantly more important than their abilities, because abilities mean a lot when it comes to Pokemon, but often stats will speak louder. It's one of the main reasons why a lot of, like, really, really, really good Pokemon have kind of garbage abilities. Because abilities generally don't matter as much. There are definitely a lot of Pokemon that, like, the abilities make those Pokemon, but more often than not, the ability plays either as big of a role as the stats, or play less of a role than the stats. Like, again, a great example of this is 2-degree Dragonite, where Dragonite was great even before Multiscale. Multiscale helped it, but Multiscale isn't what made Dragonite into being good. It was fantastic beforehand. It just helped it a little. We don't do union circles, Greninja Minecraft Gaming, apologies. But we're also doing the Suda method right now, so joining a union circle wouldn't really do anything, apologies. Favorite of that would be Allosaurus. We love dinosaurs. We are big fans of dinosaurs here. And again, guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We are probably going to do, like, Union Circles, something at some point, though. I still got to figure out what we're going to do for, like, Union Circle things. Because, still kind of working on it. I think we might honestly make Sundays no longer Battle Sundays, but, like, Union Circle Sundays. Why is this one taking so long to hatch? What the heck? Oh, it doesn't think it goes to hatching. Weird. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I still gotta figure out what we're gonna do with it. But again, the problem of Union Circles is that, like, they will basically cause the game to crash a lot of the time. The games don't really... Again, I do not understand why they made Union Circles. And then made something that the games can't run effectively. That don't happen to me, but I learned about dinosaurs on it. Oh, Dino! What do I have a Dino egg? But I learned about dinosaurs on a kids show. I mean, a lot of us learned about dinosaurs on a kids show. So that's probably not too far off from most of us. Why do I have a freaking Dino here, though? Why? And also, why are so many of these eggs Rowlet? Like, half of these eggs are freaking Rowlet eggs. Why are there so many Rowlet? So many freaking Rowlet. It's like how it only allows 5 Pokemon spawn. Well, the main reason for that is to kind of force you to play alongside your friends. So that way, like, so version exclusives are still a thing. It makes sense why they do it, it's just a stupid system. But also, it's because the games can't really handle having that many people roaming around in the same world. Again, Union Circle's horribly programmed. Just like how it only lasts 5 years. Like, again, it's horribly optimized. Again, it's one of the reasons why I think when we get the next Nintendo system, the games are going to be much more better suited for that, because this game was working with the Sword and Shield game engine, which was modified for Legends, which then they further modified that Legends game engine, which again was a modified Sword and Shield engine for this game. It's like basically trying to cram a pickup truck onto a racetrack and then, like, shoving an engine that is not designed for it in there. You're forcing something to run in a system it is not designed to be, and the game itself cannot really handle what you're forcing it into doing. Which is why, again, I think that when we get the next Nintendo system, it is going to be significantly more suited to an open-world Pokemon game. The other part is, again, the devs, when they were working on this, they really don't have experience with open-world kinds of games. And I know people are going to say, well, why don't you, bring in, like, outside people to help work on a game that you do work on open-world games, like Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that? The problem with that is Pokemon already has significant leak issues where, people will let information about the games out, when Game Freak doesn't want information to get leaking out. If you bring on, other staff that are not connected to Game Freak, the stakes of them, letting slip information, maybe someone, slides with money on the table and say, oh yeah, you give us some information on the thing, we'll pay you something that's like a bribe for information. That's a big, like, breach of security, potentially, where they can let information out. Because leaks do actually harm the development of the games, because they have to investigate internally who is letting the information out, which draws time away from the games themselves. So leaks actually do contribute to overall lowering the quality of the game, because they need to check everyone, make sure, who's going on. And they also restrict the number of people working on the games so leaks don't happen. So, like, the continued, like, prevalence of leaks is kind of doing more damage than anything. It's kind of funny that people say, like, the games are not really doing well, and yet they kind of are contributing to that in a way. Because it also, again, dissuades them from hiring more people to help make the games. But if they can't trust who's already, if they potentially can't trust who's already there, how can they, like, trust people that, like, they're bringing up? So there's a lot of complications with things like that. But yeah, it's one of those why I think the next Nintendo system is going to be where this game is much more heavily suited to being an open world game. Because they're going to be able to more optimize. They're going to be having, they're also going to have more experience when it comes to making an open world game. So they can more effectively, they just build an engine designed for open world from the ground up, rather than kind of patching up an engine that wasn't designed for in the first place. So it's a lot of complex factors. So, again, for a first-time experience with the open world, they didn't do a bad job with it. I think they did a fairly decent job with everything. Granted, it could also be like, I'm not, like, the biggest open world guy. Like, I know a lot of people love, like, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild and things like that, but I kind of do like the linear stuff. Like, I mean, I'm more of a linear game kind of guy, which, whatever that says about me, I guess that says about me. I do like my linear games. Hello there, that dude. Oh, wow, how have you been? Yeah, I do like my linear games. Like, open world exploration is fun, but I do say I always need the dumbass go here button. The dumbass go here button is always something I say a game needs, because I will frequently get lost. And something like that. Finally got, hey, nice. Did you keep track of how many encounters it took you to get your Regidrago? Did you keep track of that, or did you not really keep track of it? Because I can understand, like, the not keeping track of it, because we don't really keep track of our shiny hunts relatively as much anymore. I get what people do, but I kind of prefer kind of not keep track of them anymore. I don't know, it feels more exciting not keeping track, because I can roughly tell when we're over odds. Yeah, shiny Regidrago. He was hunting that back in Sword and Shield. I think shiny Regidrago is one of the few times where a legendary has been added to a game, and it was not shiny locked on first thing. So I believe ever since Gen 5, with the exception of Kyurem, which I will forever say, shiny Kyurem not being shiny locked in Gen 5, I think that was an oversight that they just didn't realize. But I really am, yeah, it's not huntable. I just asked, hey, anyone got a Regidrago I could use for VGC purposes? It's from a showdown. Not sure what you mean by that. You not sure what you mean by that. It is from a showdown. Go down, shoot down. Go down, shoot down. There's stuff. And ready to go for effective purposes. Yeah, I actually don't think I have. Oh, from Pokemon. Go down. So, is it not hack then? Because that's good. Yeah, don't use hack stuff. Which is don't use hack things. Because hack stuff is bad. That's good. Yeah, that was good. That is good. That is good. I was going to say something and then I just lost my train of thought because my brain is absolutely paced right now. What was I gonna say? I can't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah, always verify whenever your shiny hunting stuff, like whenever you get something on like trades, always verify the origin of them. Always verify origin. Because otherwise you get what happened at Worlds. And what happened at Worlds is not good. If it happened to you. We might actually be winding down to like the time of possibly ending off because I am noticing my brain is absolutely going paced. So yeah, we're probably gonna raid sometime, some soon. Oh, Death Battle's got Gen 3 Death Battle. Okay, that's the Pokemon stuff. Fun. Ooh. Shiny Hunter SJ is shiny. I don't think we've rated them in a while. That could be who we go raid, all things considered. Yeah, we'll probably go raid them. That'd be good to go raid. Yeah, I think that might be a good stopping point. How long have we been playing? Yeah, I think we're gonna go raid. We're gonna go on a raid right now. Shiny Hunter SJ is who we are going to go and raid. Again, guys, if you haven't done so, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, and also check out our stuff on the playlists. Watching our older stuff is the best thing you guys can do to help the channel. We need your assistance to help on the stuff and things, but let's go for a raid. We will see you tomorrow, where we're going to do some more shiny hunting, and we finally got a shiny hunting. So I need to figure out what I'm going to be shiny hunting now. Again, the shiny hunting thing continues whenever we don't know we're going to hunt next, I get my shiny. See you guys then. Come on, raid things pick up. There we go. See you guys tomorrow.